Three things I want you to see here. Number one, God rules over human rulers. That's what he says. God sets up kingdoms and takes them down. God sets up kings and takes them down. Okay? So God rules over human rulers. This gives us comfort that ultimately God is in control of who's in control, and God rules over who rules. Number two, God not only rules over physical rulers in the seen realm, he rules over spiritual rulers in the unseen realm. This is one of the great mega themes of Daniel, and that is, in addition to the seen world that we see, there is an unseen world that God sees. God rules both realms. They're for him one reality, and occasionally he'll send a divine being from the unseen realm into a human being in the seen realm. That's exactly what we've just witnessed here in Daniel 4. All of this is to show that God is at work doing a lot of things that we don't see and ruling over a staff and army that we only see on occasion, but they are absolutely at work in our world, politically, nationally, historically. And this is God's divine counsel. Just as Nebuchadnezzar was a king, God is a king. Just as Nebuchadnezzar had a divine throne room, God has a divine throne room. Just as Nebuchadnezzar sat on a throne, we see the Lord Jesus throughout the Bible ruling and reigning from the unseen realm, and he is seated upon a throne. And just as Nebuchadnezzar gives orders to his human staff, so God gives orders to his divine staff, meaning beings that are created, but they're non-physical, they are spirit beings. And these are mentioned here in chapter 4, a watcher and a holy one, or the holy ones. These are God's divine servants in the unseen realm. An angel means a messenger of God. They are probably a lower level divine being. There are other classifications. There's a bit of mystery here. But just to give you by way of introduction, there is this constant appearance of this angelic and other divine being army staff that is serving God throughout the book of Daniel. So here in chapter 4, we meet a watcher, a holy one, and the holy ones. An angel is mentioned in chapter 3, chapter 6. It's talking about in chapter 7 of Daniel, 1,000 times 1,000 and 10,000 times 10,000 angels. In chapter 8, it speaks of a host of heaven. In chapter 8, it also speaks of the prince of the host. So not only are there angels, they're architected and organized like military with those who are ruling and reigning in authority. The angel Gabriel appears in chapter 8. Chapter 9 also shows up later to Jesus' mother Mary. We're told of the prince of Persia, the angel Michael. Only two angels in the Bible, Michael and Gabriel, are named. They both appear in Daniel. But in chapter 10, we meet the prince of Persia, Michael, and the chief princes. They appear as well in chapter 12. In chapter 12, we see a being that is divine that appears like a man clothed in linen. And also in chapter 8, we meet another divine being called a Lord, meaning it rules and reigns on behalf of God under his sovereign authority. All of that is to say that there's a lot more going on in this world than you and I think, know, or see. And we need to trust that God is at work behind the scenes doing what we're not seeing. And just as they are serving him faithfully, we should be serving him faithfully. These are his servants in the unseen realm. You are his servants in the seen realm, and we are to work together. In addition, it means that we have here at the Trinity Church, in addition to human leadership, there is divine leadership. Revelation chapters 2 and 3 is written to 7 churches, and each one is said to have an angel. We have physical protection and spiritual provision from the heavenly host that comes from God. I don't know who the angel is that oversees the Trinity Church, but they serve the Lord just as we serve the Lord. And that is God's protection and provision for his people. This is all supernatural, and we believe in all of it. Just so you know, I believe dead people get raised. I believe Jesus walked on water. I believe angels are real. I believe God speaks through dreams. I believe in all of it. Our God is a supernatural God. That's what we're learning in Daniel.
Howdy, Pastor Mark here. Thanks for viewing the clip. And if you'd like the entire sermon, we've got it ready to go.